Hello, everyone. Welcome to the When at Work podcast. You're with your host, Julian Leahy. And today I'm joined by Eric Hansen, who looks like he might be related to me just based on appearance. And Eric Hansen has done a bit of a sea change, and you've created a business as a result of the pandemic. Do you want to tell us a bit about what you did and why you did it?
Yeah, sure. I left a high-paying sales job and actually had some challenges finding work because it was the height of the pandemic. We found ourselves in a position where nobody was hiring. So I started a web design business whose focus was on creating simple and effective websites for entrepreneurs and small businesses. And turns out my sales skills sort of outpaced my web design building skills. Before we knew it, we had a functioning company that had a pretty good client following, and so we decided to pursue that um, to the extent that we we were generating traffic, we were paying for ads, and we were um, in a position to begin scaling. And so for our first 2 years, we've been fortunate to be profitable, and now we are on pace for a very successful 2022 and a fantastic 2023 with some exciting new stuff in the works.
And what's good is that because it's kind of a new business, that you are able to, you're not overly attached to your processes, and you're able to do some things differently, which are going to allow you to scale. And it's important to do that in the beginning so that you don't get too big quickly to the point where it's going to be difficult to undo what you've got and get, free yourself from the business. But what I wanted to ask you was, what did you do in the beginning, just straight off the bat, that was allowing you to get clients quickly? Can you tell us about what you were doing? You did some paid ads. What else did you do? What sort of paid ads?
Yeah, so we experimented with just about everything, and I think maybe one of the things that separated us from your average Joe is that we were very strategic about it. We did paid ads, we did paid social media, we did organic and free social media. We experimented with SEO and outbound plus inbound sales. To differentiate those two real quick, outbound would be like picking up the phone and cold calling local businesses, where inbound would be having those customers come to you, typically through paid ads and things like that. Um, Strategically, what we did is we monitored their traffic generation capabilities, essentially, and really monitored the data to see which of these is outproducing the others. And then we narrowed that field down until we found things that were, generally speaking, outperforming the other traffic generation or lead gen processes.
So you were tracking things. So you had different landing pages for your different advertising sources, which is basic stuff that people need to do. And which advertising was working for you the best?
Yes, Google Ads has been one of the best by far. The data that accompanies it is also pretty spectacular because you can get a great feel for just about every demographic. It actually allowed for us to segment the web design process and strategies that we wanted to do internally. So when we were trying to establish our pricing, for instance, the data that you get from from Google Analytics, from Facebook Analytics, and things like that is so specific that you have the means to say we should do a $500 website on average more than we should do a $467 website. So it's pretty fantastic when you know I should be targeting Julian and everybody who looks like and acts like Julian.
And so what did you find that as far as your pricing goes, who were the best people to go after?
Yeah, well, people generally are looking for a bargain. It also depends on where you're hunting. Folks who are really looking for bargains, uh, they're kind of looking for freemiums and things like that. So you have to sort of incorporate the right marketing tools and instruments to capture them. But we were generally finding that people were looking for a low price and a quality product, not a sophisticated product that is also matching the high quality. There were fewer people looking for $10,000 websites that could build you a car than there were people looking for just a basic sort of portfolio style website, something that could introduce the world to their idea and their product or service.
So there were less of those people, and so you were finding that you were going for the lower price end of things, or were you still able to get some of these people that wanted more complex solutions?
Yeah, you certainly are. You often find that people are looking for them, and that's where your sales team and your process becomes very important, because that's the way in which you separate the wheat from the chaff. Sort of your marketing and your targeted ads may tell you that the majority of people who come through are looking for a $500 or a $700 website with some pretty basic setup features, but you're bound to find people who look for more sophisticated stuff, and you need a well-trained sales team and a well executed process so that your sales folks can filter through the noise, and they can identify which people want what service.
And who would you say are your ideal prospects now going forward?
We're still looking for the entrepreneurs. We're still looking for the small business owners who are getting ready to get their foot in the door or who are trying to rebrand. But we also are trying to identify the people who understand that your website is an investment. It's not just that thing you put up so that you can tell people, oh yeah, I got a website. It's kind of like it's the equivalent of a digital brick and mortar store. In the old days, people used to go get out $1 million loans to buy a actual store that hosted and maintained the business. It's where they kept the product. It's where they met their clients. Nowadays, most people can get the same effect in a website, but they have to understand that the website functions as a 24-hour, 365-day a year salesperson. It's a storefront where you can sell products. It's a way towards passive income so that you're generating revenue even when you're sleeping. And when you remember that a website really has that value, especially when done well, it really pays to put the right resources into it. And so the price really should reflect the value that you expect to produce.
And can I ask why did you call it faketie.com? I like the name, by the way.
Yeah, thanks. Well, aside from the fact that you go type in just about any name online and it's already taken, this was something that I used to joke about in sales. I've been in sales for a long time. I've been fortunate to do well. And we used to kind of kid that you often fake it till you make it, right? Because people don't always understand that even though you seem confident and you act like you know what you're doing, sometimes you're just kind of rolling with the punches. And so the fake tie was sort of an acknowledgement to the fact that we aren't all walking around with our ties on, and we don't actually always know what we're doing, but that's okay. It's a part of the learning process. So we wear our fake ties, and we work hard to produce a good product and a service for customers, because until we feel confident, until we're good, we really are just kind of walking around with that clip on, trying to show the world that we can actually do the things that we say we can do.
And it's very memorable too. It's like everyone's got, it could be Eric's web design, which just is a bit boring, and fake tie stands out. So people that need your help, what do you do for them? How do you have a strategy call Do they jump on the website? What's the best way to get a website built?
Yeah, so we're actually going through a big rebranding right now, and we're really excited because the website's going to change its form. But essentially, the best way to reach out is to jump on that website. You'll eventually be connected to either myself or one of our sales people. Right now is a great time because I'm going to be fielding the majority of our inbound calls while we work on refining our sales process. But that what separates us is really a couple things, and one of them is that we offer more guarantees than any web design company I've found. Anything from a satisfaction guarantee to a price guarantee, a deadline guarantee, and even a lifetime guarantee on certain elements of the website. So when taken all together, we have 6 guarantees that essentially promise to give you the service and the outcome that you want. And very few companies are willing to do that because web design, graphic design, and those things are scary. They don't often come with an immediate and comprehensible ROI. And we think that people need to put their butts on the line. If I'm going to ask Julian to give me his hard-earned money, I need to make him feel confident that we've got some skin in the game as well, and the service and product that you end up with is just as reliable as the service and product that you sell.
Awesome. Well, I'm going to wrap it up there. Thanks for coming on, Eric. Some interesting info, particularly about I thought how you are scaling your business going forward, and also if you are wanting to get some web development, have a chat to Eric at faketire.com. Thanks for watching.